Welcome to Season 3 of Sailing Sitka. I'm Kenna and this is Jay. We live aboard our 1976 Choi Lee sailboat named Sitka, in which we have sailed south from Canada in 2022 to the very last port of Mexico. This season, we are finally exiting Mexico and taking our boat further through the Panama Canal and into the beautiful Central American waters. Alongside us for this season is our pal Nico, who is taking along for the adventure because why the hell not? So hit that subscribe button and follow along, as this season we are sailing as far and wide as possible. You guys you make this happen and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Sailing Sitka, and I hope you enjoy. This week, you've popped into an episode where we finally untie the lines and sail our sailboat Sitka further south and finally out of Mexico. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy, make sure to show us by hitting that subscribe button. So as you can tell by this camera quality, we are using our brand new camera that Chris and John from Avocet and Prism gave us. And so I'm going to be trying to film more with this guy, and I'm just learning with it. So please bear with me, but I hope I get some really rad footage for you guys. Now, let's sail to Nicaragua.
Season 3 is really officially starting in about 30 minutes here. So the Navy is just about to come down here. It's like 10 to 9, I think, and at 9 they're supposed to come, and with a dog called Grinch. Same dog that came on Sitka when we arrived here in Chiapas.
Yep.
And they're gonna come check out the boat, basically make sure we're not smuggling anything. And then once they finish checking the boat, we have like 30 minutes to depart. So once they leave, we're gonna flash up the engine, let it heat up for about 15 minutes, turn all this stuff on, the autopilot, the chart plotter, depth sounder, all that stuff, which we all checked yesterday, so should be all good to go. And then we'll start making our way in the yonder in the big blue.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to leave Mexico after 2 years. That's crazy. 2 seasons being here. It's wild. It's gonna be cool.
We literally checked in Mexico in October 2022. And now it's October 2024, so it's been 2 years on the dot.
If people think that we went slow, we did not go slow.
No.
We went to a lot of cool places, and it was fantastic. Yeah. You could even go slower and you wouldn't see everything. So.
No, we did like all the spots we really wanted to see. There's a few we would have loved to see that we didn't see, but sometimes you gotta let some go. And also we didn't do a lot of repeat spots. The only repeat spots were La Paz, Mazatlan twice on season 1, and La Cruz. Yeah. Mexico's awesome cruising grounds, and the food's amazing. I'm gonna miss the food and the people. I will not miss the Norberlies in the Sea of Cortez. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's gonna be really neat to go check out new places.
Our Navy inspection to clear out of Mexico went swimmingly, and then we only had a few minutes to say goodbye to our dock pals Vision and Taylor. Just like that, we were off, literally. For the first time in 6 months, Sitka is not only floating, but off the dock and on the move once again.
After 2 years in Mexico, we have done the entire west coast, including the Sea of Cortez, and now we are finally exiting Mexico. We're at the most southern tip of Pacific Mexico right now in Puerto Chiapas, and we're gonna make our left here in a few minutes and heading to Nicaragua. So we're gonna be skipping Guatemala and El Salvador and going straight to another marina, sadly, but that's what we gotta do there to check in, and we're gonna do a bit of inland stuff there for a couple days just to go, we got a surprise for you, so stay tuned, it's gonna be rad.
It's hard to put into words the feelings that come with starting a new season and setting sail towards new lands, ones of which we have never seen before. Exciting is an understatement. This is what we save every penny for, what we pour our blood, sweat, and tears into. Getting this boat, our home on the water, ocean ready to explore everywhere the sea touches, is not only our dream, but our lifestyle that we work so hard to experience. This is the start to a new and thrilling season, one that we're more than happy to share with all of you. Thank you for being here and supporting our every step of the way.
We're doing it!
Bye-bye, Mexico!
Bye-bye, Mexico!
Ow!
The ocean's right in front of us.
So excited.
It felt surreal to be finally exiting out into the big blue. I took down our Mexico flag and hoisted up our yellow Q flag to show that at this point in time we are not checked in to any port or any country. We're just sailing freely until we get into Nicaragua, where then we will hoist their national flag once successfully cleared in. It was hard to pick up on film steadily, but the waters surrounding Chiapas were sadly filled with plastics of all sorts, mostly green, blues, and clear pieces, as those camouflage into the water. Red, yellows, and oranges sadly get eaten by sea life first, as they are easily seen. I learned this information when I joined and participated in the ocean cleanup sailing to Hawaii in 2015. Alright, well, little update here. We've been out here for I think about 2 hours. We're about 6 miles offshore, and we're kind of hugging the coast right now at this range because the coast will start receding and we don't want to get too far offshore. Our optimum range would be like 20 or 30 miles. If we get further than that, then we have to make it back, and we're not too sure yet, but I think we're gonna run dark, meaning like we're not gonna have our lights on tonight because it is a zone that is known for piracy. We have friends that had like weird stuff happen here. Also, when I did this coast on a tall ship in the Navy, we literally had guns at the ready because there can be piracy here. Not often, but it can happen. But so far so good. We knew there wasn't going to be a lot of wind, so we just got the main up to balance the boat, but it's really a motor fest right now. We also been seeing a lot of plastic. Like a lot, like more, like I've sailed through the gyro going to Hawaii, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and this is more plastic than I've seen there. There is a river here on the border of Mexico and Guatemala, and I think that's all the plastic coming out of the river.
Yeah, there's a lot of plastic. It's pretty bad. We're having to dodge big branches and logs, and just sad. But we're on the water, so we're in good spirits.
Just put the fishing line out. We got a cedar plug on there. That's usually our lure for mahi and tuna, so hopefully we get one or the other. Actually, there's Spanish mackerel here too, and we've never caught one, and they're so good, so we'd love to have that. Because we don't have that much food, because we can't bring any fresh produce or meats or dairy into Nicaragua, so we'll have to throw a bunch of eggs away because we have like 36 eggs, so I just used 6 today, but we'll probably use 8 or 9 tomorrow. Actually, no, I'll make some crepes. We're due for a crepe day, actually.
The sea, the world's big, blue, vast playground. On a sailboat, the world feels both expansive and intimate, as if the horizon stretches forever while the boat becomes a small, self-contained universe. The rhythmic creaking of the wood beneath your feet and the gentle slap of the waves against a hull, creating a meditative soundtrack. This is the reason why we do what we do, for this exact feeling. A feeling like no other, in a place like no other. We are currently sailing past Guatemala at the moment, and I think I just caught that on film. We are getting a lightning and thunder show just off our port side there, so little nerve-wracking. This is pretty much our first ever experience sailing with lightning, so little nerve-wracking. We're going about 5.2 knots right now. The engine is on. We were going about 1500 RPM, and we cranked that baby up until 2000 because we want to get the heck out of here. So yeah, we're motor sailing right now. The Genoa and the Maine are both out, but we are probably gonna roll up the Jenny here and just in case. Looks like it might get a little squally and you don't want that out fully out while going through that. So anyway, that's our update right now. Not much to update on, but I am going to bring in these sails right now, so yeah, let's do that. We played an exhausting game of dodge the lightning strikes pretty much the entire duration of night 1. Then all of a sudden, the morning sun peeked through, creating not only a new day, but the beginning of day 2 at sea for the crew aboard Sitka.
All right, pardon the engine noise. Just making some morning coffee here. We just use the little pour over method with a bamboo filter, and then you can just throw it in the ocean if you really want to. It's biodegradable, but we normally don't on small passages. We almost went over a huge net, so we Kendall, I was sleeping and Kendall slowed down, and that woke me up, and I was like, oh, what's going on? She's like, oh, there's a long line, because that's what we're used to going over on southern Mexico, is a lot of long lines, and it's usually like a flag with, it's just a black garbage bag and like a couple float bottles that are like every mile or something, and they go on forever. But when I got up and looked, luckily it was daytime, it was like just early morning, so the sun was already up. It wasn't a long line, it was actually a net with like floats every like foot. And I've got caught on this on a tall ship before, and I was like, oh hell no. So we can't go over, so we had to like turn hard to port, or sorry, hard to starboard, and just parallel it until it ended, and then we could resume our course. Yeah, that would be no good, because usually those nets are like just about a foot below the surface, hang on with those floats, and they can go down however deep they want them to go. So it could be 10 feet, 15 feet, 50 feet. So yeah, it would just basically be a freaking nightmare. So luckily Kenna saw it in time and we're able to avoid that. Hopefully we don't see any more, and hopefully there's none of these at night, because they're not marked with lights or AIS beacons or anything. And yeah, I'm pretty sure they're illegal too, because it's all you get is bycatch on those things. There was a turtle caught in one, and the panga was like close by too, so it's not like we can, sadly we can't just go and release it, because it's just not how it goes. I released a turtle not last season, the season before, and like, yeah, I was worried they were gonna come sink my boat. Like, it's a big deal here. So even though it's illegal, like, you have to play by their rules when you're on the ocean. Like, it's us and that's it. So there's no like support system out here. So sadly we have to just watch a turtle be caught in a net and not do anything about it while there's a panga there. But anyways, that's life sometimes, and it sucks, but it is what it is. So
Day 2 got rather interesting, as we noticed the impressive landscape of Guatemala providing large and dark silhouettes of volcanoes as we sailed down the coast. It was a scorching second day at sea. We cooked in the Central American heat as we slowly sailed our way south.
Alright, well, after 24 hours of motor sailing, we are finally just purely sailing. Upwind, but still better than motoring. We're doing 4.9, 5, 4.7. That's pretty good. We are actually like doing the exact same speed with the engine, so it's gonna be nice. Not hearing the engine's actually so lovely right now. We got a fishing line out. I don't know if you can see in the distance. I'll use the other camera to zoom in, but these are all volcanoes along the coast here. So pretty cool coast. It can get pretty rough out here. It's actually smoother sailing too than motoring. Like, the boat's way more balanced right now. So we have a reef in the Genoa. We could take it out, but the thing is, this area is notorious for papagayo winds, where it can blow like 50 knots out of nowhere. So and this Genoa is massive, so I don't mind going a little bit under the speed and being safe right now. So that's what we'll do. Kenna's down below having a nap. Nick's chilling like a villain. We're trying to get some fish. No luck so far. We lost our old cedar plug. I have a new one, but I don't know if something snapped it or it's just getting old and it broke. I don't know. Either way, right now we have a little pink hoochie on there. Hopefully that gets us some food. I heard there's Spanish mackerel here, so that'd be rad. But yeah, right now, full main and one reef in the Jenny. And we're doing good, between 4 and 5 knots. What slows us down is these waves. But yeah, that one's, we're at 2.9 right now. Completely stopped us. So anyways, we'll do this for a bit. If the wind dies, we'll have to motor again, because we have to maintain speed, because we have to be there at a certain time, because that marina we're going to, it's a river, and we have to time it with slack tide or on a rising tide. And for us, we need light too, so like the actual high tide's at 4:30 a.m. and we're gonna get there, like, we're gonna try to line us up to be there like at 5 first light, and it's not marked at all. So they send us the coordinates, and our friend Josh also sent us the coordinates, so we're gonna plot those in and hopefully make it in all right. There's sandbars in there, so it's like ever shifting. But yeah, it's like the wind completely like died down now. We're like only doing 3. Eh well, I'll make Pueblo Genoa completely out.
As Sitka propelled forward, dolphins glided effortlessly along her side, keeping her company and helping guide us to our new destination. Their sleek bodies swam and leaped in the bow waves, creating arcs of splashes as they surfed Sitka's movements. Watching dolphins swim at the bow is just one of the many wonders of being out at sea. On this passage, there was not a whole lot of wind to sail with, so when we did find some and were able to turn the engine off for just a little while, it was appreciated amongst the crew to no longer hear the awful roar of our Yanmar. One of the most peaceful moments I've had have been at sea, when the only sound you hear is the waves and the slight creaking of the boat. Those sounds mean that you're doing it. You're on an adventure that you'll tell your loved ones about for years and years to come. And that, my friends, is worth every penny.
All right, so although we're sailing right now, we've been motoring for, let me see here, like 30 something hours. So at different RPMs, because sometimes there's a bit of wind, so we were able to motor sail and lower the RPM. As long as we were maintaining 4.8 to 5.2 knots, that was good. So now I'm gonna dip the tank and see how much fuel we have to give us a good idea of if I'm adding all 4 or 5 gallon jugs right now or just adding 2 or 3 or whatnot. So on here there's no fancy gauges, so we just gotta open this little door. All right, and this is our gauge. So there's Kenna's hair on the gauge usually. Top of the tank, that's full on here, so
Don't dip it yet. Hold on.
let's see.
Go now.
Yeah, so we're a little over halfway. Yeah, we're about, I'd say 65% full. So we'll add some here and then we'll dip it again.
We have officially transited all of Guatemala in one day. We are now at the border of El Salvador. You won't be able to see too well on here, but kind of where those mountains dip right there, that is El Salvador. Guatemala, El Salvador. And we currently have dolphins at the bow, which we're loving always. And it's been pretty good. I haven't been really present in the videos because I have been so wildly seasick, which is a norm for me. So doing my seasickness medication, taking my naps, having little snacks, it's been good. But yeah, this is us so far.
A lot of dolphins. They're tiny little guys. They were jumping high earlier.
We were motoring our way into night 2. All was well as we watched the sky change colors and paint the horizon all shades of pink. Just when we were counting our lucky stars, the universe had a different plan, so we thought.
All right, well, it seems like we just went over a fucking line and it seems like it's caught on our prop right now, so luckily the conditions are benign, but obviously it's just about to get pitch dark here. Nick is strapping up like Aquaman.
Nick has done this like 10 times on his own boat.
The ladder's on the other side. I set it up already. Right.
Sure you don't want to get in, Jay?
Positive.
Sketched out jumping in the water.
Fair enough.
Huh?
So that's fair.
Oh god, that's scary as fuck.
Think about it's like fantasy where she got caught like 10 times.
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
Didn't you do this 7 times at night? Oh, it's a bird right there. Is that a bird or a float?
It's a float with a bird on it.
Okay, because if that's a float, that means we're definitely in it.
There's nothing on it.
Nothing at all? Around the prop or the rudder?
No.
Nothing at all?
No.
Are you serious?
So
That's good.
that float's just chilling there
There's
then?
nothing on it.
Okay, well that's good sign. That's good.
Yay!
Hold on.
Just double, triple check, but.
Yep, we're good.
Okay, sweet.
What the hell?
Here, hon, give him that bucket of water so he can rinse off. Here, I'll give you some fresh water, Nick. Thanks, bro. You're a legend.
Well, give me some soap and I'm just gonna jump in the water again.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Jay, it sounded like something was in it.
It did sound weird.
Or we just revved it up too fast.
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, wait, there it is. Found it. It's right here.
The what, the line?
Yeah,
So it is there.
it's right here.
Okay, so are we caught in it?
No,
Oh, no, we're not.
right here.
No, keep it there. Keep it there.
You have a
Pass
hold
it
of
to
it?
me.
Oh my god, it's right beside us.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we have it.
So it was probably in there, but it got unfucked. Okay, well, we need to get out of here before we get tangled in it, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, go open the throttle. Nick, can you hold it here?
Yeah, I got like 10 feet of it.
Okay.
Nick just had a little wake up from flying fish. Put Hombre back in the ocean. She free. It's funny 'cause I just got that tattooed right before coming back here.
Now I'm all fishy.
All right, it's currently 8 a.m. or 8:10 a.m. on our final full day at sea. We should be arriving tomorrow morning, so we have one more night here at sea. We're going about 5.5 knots right now, motor sailing with both a reefed main and a reefed Genoa. And then you're probably thinking, why are you guys motoring if you can sail with reefed mains and reefed Genoa? It's because we need to be pointing, because these winds here, the Papagayos, like they keep pushing us offshore. So like we don't want to waste all our mileage, so we need to be motoring right now, or else we're not going to arrive at the right tide window. And it's one of those entrances that we need to arrive at a specific time, either slack tide or building tide. So that's what we're aiming for. This wind, by the way, was not predicted. That's the nature of these Papagayo winds. It was supposed to be under 5 knots the entire time. We knew we were going to motor the entire way. But yeah, right now it's blowing probably like 30 knots. But as long as the seas don't build too much, like, or it's, if it would clock, it would be nice. But right now it's literally coming exactly where we need it to come. So, and we crossed the border into El Salvador around I think 5 p.m. And right now we're coming towards the end of El Salvador, and then we're going to be entering Nicaragua probably by tonight. And then we should be there first thing at daylight. Right now our ATA is saying that we get there at midnight tonight, but we're gonna not be always going this fast. Right now we're going this fast, so we're motor sailing. 2 seconds ago just before this talk, we had shut the engine off, but we were only making like 2.5 knots because like we're pointing too high, sadly. And there's like lightning and thunder like everywhere around here. At nighttime, like around sunset, like yesterday we were going straight into it, but it was far. It looked closer than it was, so it was not too concerning. And the first night we had lightning closer than we would have liked, but towards shore. And right now we're between 15 and 20 miles offshore, depending how far the coast extends out to sea. Yeah. So a lot of the older guidebooks say to stay within 5 miles, but there's so much lightning and thunder close to shore, I didn't want to be that close to it. Diet of champions out here. Nothing but refined sugars, ladies and gentlemen.
Day 3 was much of the same. We fueled once more while the sea state was calm. We used a Baja filter to filter out the water that was in the fuel from the Chiapas fuel dock. Then it was my watch from 4 to 8 p.m. We ate dinner as a crew and talked about our most recent shared memories of this sail. Not long after, it quickly turned into nighttime, and out came the lightning clouds right off Sitka's starboard side. By the looks of it, it looks like it'll be another long night of dodging strikes.
Alright, it is now 1 in the morning. It is like blowing 35 knots out there, right on the nose. So we're motor sailing into it. And you can see it, but it's also pretty out there. We're about 5 hours away from the entrance of the river. Hopefully things calm down, because I'm not really looking forward to enter a river that is unmarked with shifting sandbars in these conditions. So let's hope it changes a bit. Sitka's handling it fine though, but it's just uncomfortable. Puesta del Sol, Marina Puesta del Sol. This is sailing vessel Sitka on channel 16. Over. To be fair, the marina's probably still closed because it's like not even 6 a.m. yet. It's 5:58. If it's like Mexico, there's gonna be no one till 8, so we're gonna be on our own. But Kenna and Nick already rigged both sides for the stern line, and then so they only and there's one midship line on both sides, so they only have to switch the bow line depending if we go start. We prefer going starboard side too, just because it makes more sense for shore power and the hose and all that stuff. But we'll pick whatever is available and is the easiest with Sitka. I'm super happy to see that the sea state has calmed down. I'm looking over there with the binos. We're like 2 miles away from like the final approach.
I am so excited to come into port. The first passage after a while off is always the hardest. This one was harder than I thought it was going to be. Yes, it was a motor sail the entire time, but the sea state was all over the place, and for somebody still trying to adjust to boat life after a while off, not good. I was way more seasick than I thought I was going to be. I was popping pills left, right, and center that makes you extremely drowsy, so I was extremely tired. I had a lot of dry mouth. Yeah, just awful side effects of that medication, but what are you gonna do? By day 3, I was feeling a lot better, and then we got hit by that weird papagayo last night that just kind of threw us off, literally, like it was knocking us side to side, so that was really, really shitty. Put me back to square one for seasickness. Anyway, now we are pulling in, and it feels so good. And to see our bow pointing directly to volcanoes, like I cannot believe we just sailed Mexico to Nicaragua. I never thought I would say those words, honestly. Very, very cool. And to those of you who get really seasick and it is a big prevention for you to do this lifestyle, I'm here to tell you that it should not be. It is absolutely hell, yes, but when you're pulling up into new anchorages that look like this, you completely forget all about the misery, and it makes it completely worth it. So if you're thinking about doing this, if you're thinking about buying a boat, getting a boat, and sailing the world, I highly suggest you do. I wish I could share this experience with every single person. It is the most magical and freeing way to live.
We just sailed to a whole new country, Central America. Here we come.
Thank you for watching this episode of Sailing Sitka. Stay tuned next week for a special episode that we can't wait to share. Cheers, and we'll see you next Sunday. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Sailing Sitka. Stick around for more to come. If you enjoyed, please spread the love and let us know. Special thank you to our Patreon members for making these videos possible, as well as helping our dreams come true. See you all next week.